Yep. Yep. And yep. That's right, Bills fans. The Bills had a big game today. Big game. Arguably one of the biggest in their recent history, especially in this run of futility as it regards to playoff permutations, because today was a day where they could sort of take control of their own destiny. They could beat a team that was in the playoff race, have a win over them, and the Steelers having lost later on, which they did, would have firmly placed them into fifth. And also had a week coming up where they had another big one at home against another team with a similar record who went on the road today and played like a team that there was playoff implications on the line, and they won. Beat a good quarterback and Drew Brees. That was the Houston Texans. But in typical Bills fashion, as I'm sure we all saw, they were, well, they were the Bills. Day late, dollar short, too little, too late, confusion, bad execution, um, front running. And what I mean by that is once the opposing team punches back their counter punch, they kind of go into a what do we do now mode. There's a lack of aggression, there's a lack of decisiveness, there's you see a lot of mental errors as this team has been replete of with, I'm sorry, this year, and of course just that's just the Bills. We Bills beat Bills. That's the mantra. Bills beat Bills. Bills, yeah, they're a bully. They sure are. Build a bully. That's what we got. The build a bully who, like in true bully fashion, gets is a hero when the sun is shining, and then when they get hit, they're just kind of like, oh, well, what do what a joke. What a joke. The Rex Ryan ruse in Buffalo is in full effect. I mean, this build a bully, playoffs were going, best D in the league. This defense is awful. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. You know what? This defense sucks. I know, minus Mario, minus Kyle, minus Aaron. They had injuries today, but still. Did you see? Can anybody name another wide receiver that the Chiefs have other than Macklin? They have Kelsey. Yes, I'm sorry, but still, they're down to their third running back who gets 100 yards on the Bills because you know what? The Bills just love allocating tons of resources in the running backs, and they just refuse to open their eyes to a league that just sees this position as a turnstile. Oh, you know what? High injury rate. Wear and tear is pretty significant on the bodies. Guys can't take stuff like they used to. It's best to stay young and fresh and inexpensive there. No, we don't do that. Nope. Tyrod Taylor's inability to just make in-game adjustments, because we forget that the quarterback is also a coach on the field, and he isn't devoid of any blame here. Because again, late in the game, I just saw a lack of urgency, indecisiveness. Once he looks off his first guy, or he's watching his first guy, waiting to get open. Whole first half, you know, pretty good. Watkins, amazing. You look at that first half, you think Sammy Watkins is going to have, oh my God, he might have a 300-yard receiving game. And the cop out by Ryan Rex at the end of the game was just that was criminal. Oh, they had a safety a zillion yard. Go look at the catches he had in the first half where there was a safety coming over every time, or the one in the end zone. There was two guys right there. What's he talking about? Is he not watching these things, or does he think people are blind? Or the Hogan catch? And I'll tell you exactly what happened because he got burned on the first failed challenge with Woods, which was the most obvious one. Like he trapped the ball on the ground. It was like, okay, it's early in the game. Why are you gonna, you got to pick and choose your spots. He won the one with Sammy. He got totally spooked out of challenging that. Was afraid to lose the timeout, and it was so obvious. Macklin, and then he wants to cop out how there was a lack of replays. It's always an excuse with him. And you know what? I've seen it plenty with the Jets here in New Jersey when he was here, because I'd always watch the SNY post games because they were a comic act. They were a comic act. He's always got an excuse. It's the headsets, it's the communication, it's the injuries. Does he look around the league? Everybody's hurt. Everybody's hurt. Everybody. I don't want to hear about injuries. The team is ill prepared. It's not focused. It's badly drilled. It doesn't play to the magnitude of the situation in the game. It doesn't. Just like in New England last week, the offense is sleepwalking down the field in the fourth quarter with the clock ticking down like, no, it's nothing. And you knew they were going to play for a field goal there because they were afraid to turn the ball over and keep it a two-score game. They were just playing for a field goal. No throws to the end zone, no aggressive plays, nothing. It's just a joke. It's a joke. Now I'm starting to question the hire of this guy. I really am. Because they took the decision out of the hands of the football guy, Doug Whaley. And, granted, Terry, thank you trust me, thank you for all hail to Terry and Kim Pagula for keeping the Bills in Buffalo. But you know what? That's why you always let the people you employ make the decisions. Because they were set to give the job to Hugh Jackson. Another offense that just totally ran the Bills' defense out of town. Made them look non-existent. They're $200 million players, and they're, whatever. I don't get it. They got fat and happy off of a losing defensive effort against Tom Brady. He was off. They still won. What are you getting happy about? Then you fail to go do the job against Alex Smith. And Alex Smith is like the second or first most sacked quarterback in the league. He might be mobile, but he gets sacked a lot. The Bills could not sniff him today. They could barely lay a finger on him. Alex Smith was just back there having a donut and having his Sunday coffee, chilling out, read the paper, went for a little jog, came back, threw a long touchdown. You know what? I understand it. You want to live with Alex Smith beating you deep? I get it. Because you know what, I would have said before the game, you asked me, Alec, could you live with him trying to beat you deep? I would have said yeah, because that's the book. He's not going to beat you deep. But today he did. He hit a few big throws deep. The one that was a drop that wasn't challenged by Macklin hit the ground against Butler, but Rex, he's slow in the draw. You know what? That all these systemic issues. This is not thinking on your feet. You got to have a head coach who's a chess player. He's thinking 15, 20 moves ahead. These are red flags. It's not something that he's learned from, since obviously if you watch him here with the Jets, teams ill prepared, teams not making adjustments. You see KC. Three straight 3-and-outs. You know what? They made adjustments. They didn't punt the ball again. The missed field goal and the kneel down at the end of the game is the last times that it didn't result in a score for their offense. Think about that. No Jamal Charles, no Shonderick West, a wide receiver core that you can't name other than Jeremy Macklin. I mean, Albert Lewis, Chris Conley, Hammond. I know their names. But Kelsey. But still, their offensive line was decimated. They had their third center in there. Morris went out, Felton went over, and then Allen was snapping the ball. Allen went out of the game. Their left tackle Fisher, who's not been good, their former first overall pick, was out. And Stevenson, it was just their offensive line was a mess. The Bills couldn't do anything with that. Nothing. Last I checked, Hughes and Darius were playing. Oh, but you know what? You can always get Hughes for his his on schedule 15 yard. This is stupid play. The only thing that saved him was the holding penalty in the next game, because Casey was going to go in there and score a touchdown. You just know they were. The Bills never rise to the occasion. I don't want to hear about playoff and play. When people talk about playoffs with this team, the two just never connect. They don't register to me. That's just lost on me anymore. I just don't want to hear it. I don't got the stomach for it when people want to talk about Bills and playoffs. Like, they don't go to the playoffs. The Bills just don't go. You know why? Because they don't play big when big is required. They just don't. You know what the younger kids say nowadays about turning up, which refers to them going out and, turning up out to be seen. The Bills don't do that. They just they're no shows. They don't show. I feel bad for Sammy Watkins because he looked like he wanted to show up today. He looked like he wanted to turn up, but you know what? One target in the second half. One. Because you got to run a stretch play to all due respect, Boobie Dixon. Robert Woods just looks like he's sleepwalking out there sometimes. Bobbling passes, just kind of like lackadaisical. No. I'm saying they're gonna throw out numbers about Tyrod Taylor's completion percentage and his lack of turnovers and different statistics to try to give us hope. But you know what? Don't buy it. Really, don't buy anything that they sell, because it's all a ruse. It's all false prophet propaganda. Just don't listen, because it's mind numbing. It's mind-numbing. It's mind-numbing that we have to sit there and listen to the same rhetoric about, we fell short of our goals. You had it right in front of you. Right in front of you. And you know what you did? You shit the bed. Sorry. Shit the bed. KC got back in the game, scored a touchdown. Bills... they fumbled the ball. They were moving the football. That could have been a score drive right there. They fumbled. Sean Henderson looks every bit of a seventh round pick so far last few weeks. He was horrible last week, and he gave up a strip sack again to Tom Bahali. He's like, that's another thing. Bills got a break. Justin Houston out of the game. So again, when people want to throw out injuries to me, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And the Bills want to talk about injury, I just don't want to hear it. No stomach for it. It's a joke. That's why I tell it. And Bills fans, they really, they turned up this season. Bills fans, you guys did. We did. Sell season tickets, record sales, games sold out. All the different types of stuff. The way this team travels on the road, the fans. This team didn't give us nothing. Nothing. All that talk, that's all it was. Just empty jargon. Empty jargon. It was all fun and a lot of bells and whistles with no substance. Just window dressing. That's all it was. I don't get it. You see teams, and you see teams every week, and I'll get back to the quarterback in a second. You see teams every week. You hear the Bills chasing their tails, talking about running the football, and not throwing over 30 passes a game. Yet, you've constantly lost games where your quarterback has to throw. So, in turn, How many more games do you have to lose till you get like, oh, maybe we should get a quarterback who we can have throw 30 plus times a game, and that is a good thing. We don't have to hide him. We can flourish with him because he makes plays. Not to say Tyrod Taylor didn't today, but he didn't make enough plays. He didn't make enough plays. And granted, there was a few plays his receivers let him down. Robert Woods, Hogan, he caught that ball. This league's a joke, a failure on so many levels. The NFL, another pass interference against Roby today. It was, this league, this team. This week again, this coming week against Houston. No confidence in it. None. Just could see them going out there getting waxed because they're just demoralizing defeat today. You know, it's getting cold, it's wet out. How much do I want to go out and bang up my body? You know, I want to be fresh for next year. I could just see that. I've seen Rex's Jets teams quit, and it'll really sour me if the Bills do that. But you know, they had a chance to really just. You know, Sammy said it in his little. There's no killer instinct on this team. There's none. There's no sense of urgency. There's no killer instinct. There's no attention to detail. There's no focus. There's no like understanding and grasping the moment. There's none of that. It's just lost on them. It's unfortunate because there was a lot to be gained. You know, this team had a lot to win today, and they blew it. They really did. They blew it. So that's all I got for you, Bills fans. All right, have a good one. You can't. It's not a good one. No victory Monday here. No, they chased their own tails. 5-5. I mean, 2-2. Another quarter of the season. It's going to be December, and they're just they win one, they lose one, they win two, they lose two. No, same old Bills. Sorry. All right, guys. Have a safe week. Have a good Monday. Happy holidays to you.